roll in. It's Easter Sunday, and I am using a new device because I have gotten an iPhone for the first time. I've come to the dark side at long last. So I'm actually kind of excited to see how this video comes out, just as far as like video quality and sound. But so this is week 13 of 12, and the reason for that is because 13 weeks ago, I wanted to undergo a little bit of an experiment that was inspired by Seth Godin's book, Lynchpin, which, to me, kind of cracked open a fatal flaw of mine where I'm a perfectionist. I like to be critical. I like to take my time before making a move or do anything. And in that book, he talked about how people who kind of sit on their thumbs and wait for everything to be perfect and never make a move or take action, they're the ones who get left behind. And I didn't like that, and I noticed, since in the past 6 months to a year, I had been really seeing what a flaw of mine that was, and so that I need to bring the pendulum back in the other direction towards being more reckless and just taking action. So that's how this was born, and so I want to talk a little bit about my experiences doing it. And at first, it was super, super scary. In fact, it's still a little scary. I've noticed in particular that talking to a camera where there's no one on the other side, I can't adjust my words or my tone or the direction of what I'm talking about at all based on the feedback of my audience, I guess, which is only a couple of you from the views that I'm seeing. But at the end of the day, this is really just for me, so I'm okay with that. But I've also noticed that when I'm just talking off the cuff, there's a lot of like stops and stutters, and there's like me kind of going through my brain trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, because I kind of feel like rushed a bit. Like I see a timer in front of me right now, and I know that I'm trying to go for 5 minutes, and I would don't want to be unnecessarily verbose and extend the time, but I also don't want to not get out what I have to say. So yeah, I've also noticed there was one time back, like halfway through 4 or 5, 6, that week, where I stepped outside, and I'd kind of been being in the same environment, a chair or something inside, when I was doing these the weeks prior to that, and I stepped outside. And it was just after our like little winter blizzard this year, and there was a bunch of people outside, and I like froze. And that was actually the only time where I didn't accomplish my mission of first take, because I realized how terrified I was of just being that guy, like talking into his phone as he was walking down the street, but also being like kind of vulnerable and saying what's actually on my mind. So this has been an exercise in doing that and being a bit more comfortable and being a bit more able to stand behind, that which I'm saying or is on my mind. But if you are watching this, I want to kind of impart to you that every single week for the last 13 weeks, I have committed to this thing, and whatever comes of it is really just, all I was hoping to come from it was really just getting some practice in doing this thing that's new, that's scary, so that one day I can do it and it'll be not scary, really easy, and I'll be really good at it. And most of the things that I've ever done in my life that I have any modicum of success behind has basically come from that, just showing up consistently and relentlessly, And that's really all getting better at anything is. So, also, one last final thing as I go over time is having a deadline and having, like, you have to do this thing no matter what, whether it sucks or whether it's awesome, you just do it. I think that really, really helps because now here we are. It's Easter. It's not January anymore, and now I have 13 exposures of these to basically just get better at it. So, with that, happy Easter, guys.